Today we're going to be reviewing some fake beybladex Beys from the Flame brand. So as you guys can see, I have Shelter Drake, Samurai Saber, Fenix Wing, Ghost Circle, Crimson Garuda, and Silver Wolf. So we're going to be seeing the quality of these Beys, if they come with the correct parts, and if the parts fit well with each other. And for some of these like Fenix Wing, Silver Wolf, and Samurai Saber, I actually have the TT versions so we can compare the quality. So I've had these Beyblades for about a week, and I did do a couple of battles with these so I can give the most accurate opinion. And also guys, if you haven't seen the unboxing of the fake Flame brand UX customized set, go check it out. The link will be in the description box down below. Okay, let's start off with our first Bey. We have Shelter Drake. Okay, so here are all the parts of the Beyblade, and let's start off with the blade. We have Shelter Drake. So far it looks pretty nice. The metal is a bit shiny, but it's not too bad. The gear chip sticker is slightly off, it is not completely in the middle. And the plastic is well secured with the metal. Overall, the blade looks pretty nice. Let's check the weight of the blade. 33 grams. Alright, let's move on to the ratchet. We're supposed to be getting 780, but they gave us a 760. So that's one thing to know about the Flame brand, is that they never use 70 or 80 height ratchets. They only give 60 heights. The only exception was with the 385 from the Night Mail. But apart from the height being wrong, the colors are correct. Now let's see if it locks in well with the blade. Yeah, it is pretty tight. So apart from the height being wrong, it looks pretty nice, but we still have to see if the bit fits in well with the ratchet. Now let's move on to the bit. We're supposed to be getting gear point, but they gave us a kind of modified version of gear flat. So here I have a real TT gear flat, and I know mine is really worn down. As you can see, the real one has these ridges, so it has kind of a star shape. But with the Flame brand one, they kind of smoothed out the edges, and it's just a circle. So the gears are still going all the way to the bottom, but the tip is modified. So not only did they give us a wrong bit, but they gave us a modified version of the bit. And I mean, I guess if you don't really care about the bit, it is kind of nice because you're technically kind of getting a new bit. Now let's see if the bit fits in well with the ratchet. Okay, it is super loose. So that's another issue with the Flame brand, is that their bits are really loose with the ratchets. Okay, so overall the blade is extremely accurate. The ratchet, only the height is wrong. The bit is completely wrong. It's supposed to be coming with gear point. They gave us a modified version of gear flat. And the bit is pretty loose with the ratchet. And of course, we're going to be doing some battles later in the video, but so far, Shelter Drake is pretty mid. Now let's move on to our next Bey. We have Ghost Circle. So Ghost Circle is a UX stamina type Bey, and here are all the parts of the Beyblade. Let's start off with the blade. It looks really pretty. For some reason, the shiny metal goes in super well with the Ghost Circle blade. Sometimes the shiny metal kind of ruins the Beyblade, but I feel like with Ghost Circle, it's really pretty. Here is the back of the Bey. It looks really clean. And the plastic is well secured with the metal. So the TT one is really light, so I expect this to be slightly lighter than the TT one. Yeah, 25 grams. So it is ever so slightly lighter than the TT one. Honestly, with the Ghost Circle blade, they truly cooked. Now let's move on to the ratchet. We're supposed to be getting 0.80, but again, they gave us a 60 height. Which is kind of funny because they gave us a 0.60 before TT. Let's see how well it fits in with the blade. Okay, it is pretty nice. It honestly feels way better than the Shelter Drake ratchet. Next up, we have the bit. Here we have gear ball. What I find interesting about Flame's gear ball is they actually kind of modified the shape. I don't have a TT one to compare it with, but I have an SB one which is accurate to the real one. As you can see on Flame's gear ball, some of the gears actually protrude way more than the others. So this gear ball will be slightly more aggressive than a normal gear ball. And also the quality control on this is really not great. As you can see, there is a lot of movement between the pieces. Not only is it loose, but the gear ball doesn't go all the way in. For comparison, here we have Shelter Drake. Even though Shelter Drake is also loose, but the bit on the Ghost Circle, the gear ball, it doesn't go all the way in. So overall, the blade, really good. The ratchet, it comes with the wrong height. And the bit, it's trash. Now let's move on to our next Bey. We have Crimson Garuda. Okay, so here are all the parts of Garuda. Let's start off with the blade. Again, the blades are really clean. I will say the gear chip sticker is off. You can definitely see that it is not placed well. But other than that, I don't see any imperfections with the blade. Let's weigh it. 31 grams. This is pretty light. Next up, we have the ratchet. It's supposed to come with 470, but of course they gave us a 60 height because this is the Flame brand. But other than that, the color is pretty accurate. Now let's see if it fits in well with the blade. Okay, I'm actually quite impressed. This is one of the best fitting ratchets we've had so far. Now let's move on to the bit. We have Transpoint, and what the hell is this? This is Point's mentally challenged cousin for real. For reference, here is what a real Point should look like. And as you can see, the fake one looks way more different. But it does have the trans gimmick. Let's see if the bit fits in well and if the gimmick works. Yet again, it is super loose. If you don't know what the gimmick of Transpoint is, it basically just changes its height when it does an extreme dash. And it seems to be working pretty well. But like I said, the bit is super loose. Let's move on to our next bay. We have Samurai Saber. Here are the parts, and just right off the bat, they messed up the sticker. Here is the real TT Samurai Saber, and as you can see, the sticker orientation, it is completely upside down. So the blade really looks cursed. But other than the sticker being completely off, the gimmick does in fact work. And it looks pretty clean. Now for the weight, it weighs 37 grams. And the TT one is 36 grams. Okay, so the fake one is heavier than the real one. Now for the ratchet, we're supposed to be getting 270, but of course they gave us a 260. Now if you guys are seeing my community post, you guys would know that my real 270 actually broke. So as you can see, I have replaced it with a 60 height. Now let's see how well it fits. Okay, it is super tight. And personally, I would say it is too tight because this actually hurts my fingers just to twist. Now let's move on to the bit. So they actually gave us the wrong color for the bit. It's supposed to be a purple level, but they gave us this kind of orange level. And what's super funny about this is, as you guys can see, this part is actually free spin. So for whatever reason, I don't know why they made this part free spin. It is not supposed to be free spin on the real one, but I guess you have an extra gimmick with this fake Beyblade. And also the shape of the metal part is slightly thinner than the real one. And also look at my TT level, like it is super worn down. Now let's see if it fits in well. Of course it doesn't. Of course it is super loose. Like, what is this? Okay, so the fake Samurai Saber, the gear chip is off, the blade quality is pretty good, it's actually heavier than the real one. The ratchet comes with the wrong height, it is super tight. The bit comes with the wrong color, and it comes with a free spin gimmick, and the shape is slightly off. And the bit is so loose that it has kind of the same gimmick as the free ball. And also the bit has the same issue as the Ghost Circle one, the bit doesn't go all the way in. Now let's move on to our next bay. We have Fenix Wing. So here are the parts. Let's start off with the blade. And it looks really good. As you guys can see, I have done a couple of battles with this. And also one thing to note about the Flame brand is that their metal coats are really good. Here I have the real TT Fenix Wing. And as you guys can see, there is a difference in the color of the metal coat. The red on the Flame brand is a lot brighter and it is a lot more glittery. Okay, now let's weigh the Flame brand one. 39 grams compared to the TT one, which is 38 grams. So the fake one is actually heavier than the TT one. And as you guys can see, both are actually the first molds. Okay, next up we have the ratchet. And finally we have the correct ratchet. We have 960. But even though they gave us the correct ratchet, I have not been able to put on the ratchet because it is just too incredibly tight. I don't know if it's just a problem with mine, but no matter how hard I try, it just won't go in. So for the battles, we're just gonna use the real TT one, and as you guys can see, the TT one fits in pretty well. Now for the bit, we have gear flat, and we have the same gear flat as the Shelter Drake. So the shape is different from the real gear flat. Let's see if it fits in well with the ratchet. Okay, it's actually fitting pretty well. But it might be because I am using a real TT ratchet. So overall, except from the ratchet being super tight that I wasn't even able to put it on, and the gear flat that is a different gear flat, The Fenix Wing blade looks really nice. Now let's move on to our last bay. We've got Silver Wolf. Let's start off with the blade, and it looks pretty good. I actually have the real TT1 to compare it to, and as you can see, my TT1, like my Fenix Wing, broke. The gimmick actually works really well. It is super smooth. Let's check the weight. 38 grams. Okay, so it is slightly heavier than the real one. Now for the ratchet, it's supposed to come with 380, but they gave us a 360. Other than that, the colors are accurate, and let's see if it fits in well. Okay, it fits in really well. Now for the bit, we have free ball. It looks pretty good. Here I have the real TT one. So the fake one is slightly more yellow, but it looks like it does have the free gimmick. Let's see how well it fits. Okay, super loose. But the gimmick does work. Okay guys, now let's test these bays in the stadium. Okay guys, here we are at the stadium to test the fake Flame brand beybladex bays. Okay, let's begin with Shelter Drake. Let's begin with a test launch. Okay, now let's do a battle between Perseus Dark and Shelter Drake. Ooh, a solid hit from Shelter Drake, and it won. And Shelter Drake won again with a burst finish. And a burst once again. I mean, to be fair, I am not surprised because Perseus Dark absolutely sucks. Now let's try out Ghost Circle. Let's begin with a test launch. Okay, now let's do a battle between Ghost Circle and Shelter Drake. Ooh, Shelter Drake came back from the pocket. And I think Ghost Circle is gonna win. Or not. And yeah, it wins. Ooh, big hit from Shelter Drake. But it looks like Ghost Circle has some pretty good defense. And it wins again, wow. Now we have Crimson Garuda. Let's do a test launch. And yeah, because of the weird point bit, it doesn't really move all that much. Now Garuda is gonna go against Hell's Hammer. And Hell's Hammer is TT. Big hit. And Crimson Garuda lost. Ooh, and Garuda won. Okay. I think Garuda has more stamina. Let's see. And yeah, Garuda wins. Okay, now we have Samurai Saber. Let's do a test launch. Ooh, and it actually knocked itself out of the stadium. Let's do a battle between Nightmail and Samurai Saber. We have a burst finish. Big hits. I think Samurai Saber is gonna win. And yeah, it wins. And a one-hit burst. Now we have Fenix Wing. Let's do a test launch. And it is with the real 960 ratchet. Now Fenix Wing is gonna go against Alan the Alien. Alan the Alien came back from the pocket. Big hits from Fenix Wing. And Alan wins. And we have an extreme finish. Big hit. But Alan the alien is just too strong. And Alan wins. And now for our final Beyblade, we have Silver Wolf. Let's do a test launch. Now let's do a battle between Silver Wolf and Duran Brave. Good defense from Silver Wolf. And Silver Wolf wins. Big hits. But Silver Wolf has some insane defense. Oh, it's gonna be pretty close. Oh, Silver Wolf scrapes and Duran Brave wins. And Silver Wolf wins. Okay guys, after the battles, I have to say that even though the bits are super loose, we did not have as many bursts as I expected. So that is a pretty good sign. If you guys watched the video all the way through, make sure to comment down below the word Wellington so I know you guys watched all the video. This was Cool Time, and I'll see you in the next video.